Hello and welcome to Rathod Science Academy. In today's class, we are going to see very important articles that appear in our Hindu newspaper, guys. So, first of all, let us see the important topics of the day. So, first topic is about India-ASEAN ties making steady progress. So, our Prime Minister made a statement regarding India-ASEAN relations, and this topic is very important from your international relations from GS paper 2. And next topic is Cyclone Monta approaches Andhra Pradesh. And now Andhra Pradesh is on high alert. So here cyclones is there in your static portion of geography from GS paper 1. From that point of view, you have to see about what is the cyclones and what are the conditions for the formation of the cyclones. And here the name of this cyclone is Monta. And actually this Monta, the name of this cyclone given by Thailand. So you have to see about the naming of these cyclones also. Actually, this was a question which asked in UPSC mains. And next topic it is about pollution puts Delhi's pregnant women babies at risk. So this article is talking about air pollution, its impact on health. And this topic is important from your environment and ecology from your GS paper 3. And next topic is Japan seeks Indian workers, but people to people ties lag. So as we all know that Japan is a developed nation which is having very less young population, and there is increased risk of old age population in this Japan. So because of this, now Japan is in need of demographic dividend. And actually Japan is coming up with lots of policies to attract young age population from other countries to do work in Japan. So this topic is important from your international relations from GS paper 2. And next topic is satellite for armed forces to be launched next week. So our government is coming up with a separate satellite which is going to help our armed forces, guys. So this is very important from your science and technology from GS paper 3. And next topic is India has IUCN red flagged the Western Ghats. So recently IUCN said that there are dangerous levels or alerts in this Western Ghats, and we have to see why these are the alerts given by this IUCN, especially in this Western Ghats. So this article is important from your GS paper 3 under environment and ecology. So these all are the topics of the day, guys. Now let us see the first article. Look at the title. India-ASEAN ties making steady progress, says Prime Minister. So what is the keyword in this article? Keyword is India-ASEAN relations, right? So keyword is India-ASEAN relations. So this topic you can see from GS paper 2 under international relations. So what exactly you have to see is, first of all, you have to see full form of this ASEAN. And next you have to see why this ASEAN was formed and when this ASEAN was formed. What are the important aims and objectives of this ASEAN? And very next important thing that you have to focus is who are the members of this ASEAN. So last time regarding this organizations, 3 prelims questions were asked in 2025 prelims. So from that point of view, you have to see about members. So on these areas, you can expect prelims based question. And now from mains point of view, what you have to see is what is going on now, why it is in news, and next you have to see why our Prime Minister made this statement and what is the significance of this statement. So from these areas, you can expect mains based question, guys. So this topic is important from both prelims and as well as mains. Okay, so in prelims, how can you expect question? So first one here is they may ask members directly. Which of the following countries are members of ASEAN? And they'll give you 4 to 7 countries and they may ask like 1, 2 only, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. You may get question. And second important type of question you may get is consider the following statements regarding this ASEAN. And they'll give like 3 to 4 statements regarding ASEAN and they may ask you how many questions are correct or which of the following questions are, statements are correct or incorrect. 1 and 2 only, 2 and 3 only like that, you may get questions. So there is a chance of getting 3 types of questions in your prelims from this case. Okay, now let us see the context. So here this article is saying that India-ASEAN partnership is making steady progress, which is described as powerful foundation for global stability and growth. Actually, our Prime Minister directly made a statement regarding ASEAN. So he said that ASEAN is a powerful foundation for global stability and growth. And where did our Prime Minister made this statement? Our Prime Minister in this 22nd ASEAN India Summit, he gave that statement. So here you have to know about why this statement given by the Prime Minister, and you have to think now why this ASEAN is a foundation for global stability. So if you see some facts regarding this ASEAN, the first full form of this ASEAN is Association of Southeast Nations. Okay, that means it is grouping which mainly formed by this Southeast nations, and there are 10 countries which are part of this ASEAN, and you have to remember the members: Brunei, Cambodia, Indonesia, Laos, Malaysia, Myanmar, Philippines, Singapore, Thailand, and Vietnam. So these are the 10 nations which are part of this ASEAN, and it was established near 1967. For what? The important aims and objectives are to improve economic growth and to promote peace and security in this Southeast Asian nations, and to improve cooperation between these nations. So these are the aims and objectives of this ASEAN. And why this India-ASEAN cooperation is important? So as you all know that every country have their own foreign policy. What is a foreign policy? Foreign policy is nothing but the guiding principles of a country, like how they have to make relations with other country, whether we have to make friendship or whether it is enemy country, whether we have to be in neutral. So everything will be decided by that country's foreign policy. And if you see India's foreign policy regarding the Southeast Asian nations, we have the policy called as Act East policy. So as part of this Act East policy, ASEAN forms a cornerstones of this foreign policy of India. And this ASEAN is very, very important for India regarding regional stability, and as well as especially because of increasing of geopolitical dynamics in this Indo-Pacific region. So actually what is happening now onward nowadays? So the shift of the power from west towards east. So earlier we used to have the power in this Atlantic Ocean, but now it is moving towards this Indo-Pacific Ocean. So because of this changing of entire geopolitics, now these are the countries which are sharing boundary with this Indo-Pacific. So because of this, these Asian countries are very, very important for maintaining of economic stability of the world now. Okay. Yes, if you see what are the key areas of progress and cooperation between India and this ASEAN is, first one is maritime cooperation. So 2026 has been declared as ASEAN India Year of Maritime Cooperation. Please make a note. So 2026 year has been declared as ASEAN India Year of Maritime Cooperation. So actually this cooperation is focusing on increasing of interest, increasing of growing collaboration in maritime security, and as well as we are focusing on disaster management and as well as blue economy. What is the meaning of blue economy? Online students, please to comment. Blue economy is nothing but the economy that we are going to get from water. For example, whatever the resources which are there in the water, that will constitute our blue economy. So for blue economy also, this cooperation between India and this ASEAN is very important. And next one here is trade and investment. Actually, between India and this ASEAN countries, so we have a very good trade, and even there is a good investment of these countries even in India, and India is also investing in these countries. And next one here is cooperation is also seen in certain sectors like education, tourism, science and technology, health, green energy, cyber security as well. And not only that, we are also improving our theme, that is especially regarding this food security and as well as resilient supply chains, so that we can fight against the global challenges. So in all these areas, there is improved relationship between India and Asian countries, guys. And see this article, next article. Andhra Pradesh braces for cyclone as IMD issues high alert for 23 districts. So actually cyclone is hitting which coast? AP coast. Okay, so what is the keyword in this article? Keyword is cyclone. This topic is important from your GS paper 1 under geography. In your geography, we have this topic directly. If you read your NCRTs of 11th and 12th class, in especially 11th class of NCRT, you can see this topic cyclone. Cyclone is a very simple concept, guys. So what happens here is, if you take India's coast, here we have Bay of Bengal, and here we have Arabian Sea. In south we have Indian Ocean. And India is sharing a very largest coastline. So what is the approximate coastline? 11,098 kilometers of coastline, right? Okay, so what happens is, whenever there is increasing of temperature, if it is around or more than or equal to 27 degrees centigrade, okay, then what happens here is, there will be heating of water. So actually what happening here is, now there is increasing of global warming and climate change is happening. So because of this, what happening, overall temperature is increasing. So because of increased temperature, air is getting heated up, along with that water is also getting heated up, right? So we are having a very huge coastline. We are having Bay of Bengal on each side, and west side we have Arabian Sea. So whenever there is increasing of temperature, what happens? Air get heated. Whenever air get heated, what happen? Air will become warm, and air will become light. Whenever air is becoming light, it will be moving up. So that what happens? Which pressure is formed? Low pressure. If there is less air, then what happens on the ground surface? The pressure exerted by this air will be low. So because of this, the low pressure area will be formed. So now here what happened? Low pressure area is formed in this Bay of Bengal. And what happened? In the nearby surrounding areas, we have high pressure, right? So now the air from this high pressure will try to come and will try to occupy this vacuum. So actually, you know that India is present in which hemisphere? Northern hemisphere. It is above equator, right? It is above equator, it comes in the northern hemisphere. So because of this, what happens? Because of rotation of earth. What is rotation of earth? Earth is moving around itself, right? So because of this, what happened? There will be deflection of winds towards right. So now what happened? The winds, whenever they are coming and occupying this low pressure, they will be moving in this rightward direction. And one important feature of this cyclone is that will be moving with a very high speed in swirl manner. So whenever, if there is any cyclone which is formed, it will be moving in certain direction. Normally first they will move towards west direction, and later on they will be moving towards this northwest direction and north direction and west direction. So in this way, the cyclones will move in this direction. So actually what happened, cyclone formed in this Bay of Bengal now, and it is going to hit this Andhra Pradesh coast soon. And actually there are some estimates who are saying that it is going to make landfall tomorrow. So whenever there is landfall, then that will be the end of the cyclone. Okay, so if you see about the cyclone, the first one you have to see is there should be high temperature. The factors that led to formation of this cyclone is high temperature. It should be about 27 degrees centigrade. And next one is compulsory, there is a need of Coriolis force. If there is no Coriolis force, there is no formation of cyclone. And I want to tell one more point here. If you say this is globe, this is equator, right? Above equator we have northern hemisphere, below equator we have southern hemisphere. Actually Coriolis force is 0 at this equator. So because of this, there is no formation of cyclones at this equator. It will form only northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere. That means Coriolis force is compulsory for the formation of cyclones. And next one is there should be continuous supply of moisture. So whenever there is continuous supply of moisture, then only this cumulonimbus clouds will form, and that will cause heavy rainfall. And next one is we need to have change in pressure. So there is a need of formation of low pressure, and nearby areas should have high pressures. Then only the movement of winds happen. Okay, so these are the things that you have to remember regarding this formation of cyclones, guys. Okay, now let us see the context. So this article is saying that the Indian Meteorological Department, that is IMD, has issued red and orange alerts for 23 of Andhra Pradesh 26 districts because of this cyclone Monta, and it intensifies in this Bay of Bengal. So not only Bay of Bengal is having this vulnerability of cyclones, but even the Arabian Sea also, yes, cyclones will form. But if you compare with this Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, in Bay of Bengal, more number of cyclones will be forming, so that this entire eastern coast, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Odisha, West Bengal, so they will be in especially high alert regions because of this cyclones. And actually, recently we discussed about one article. In India, Andhra Pradesh is the fourth most hit state because of these disasters, especially because of cyclones, tsunamis, whatever it may be. To control that, recently what we discussed, one important current affairs, Andhra Pradesh state is going to build what? Yes, Great Green Wall. So how can you use this now? Great Green Wall, what they are going to do in this Great Green Wall? Entire coast of 1053 kilometers will be planted with mangroves, casuarina and palm plants. Okay, so because of this what happens? So whenever the waves are coming and hitting them, it will absorb wave energy, so that that will be having less impact on this coastal areas, right? So whatever the plan taken by this AP government is right or wrong according to you? Because it is having lots of vulnerabilities because of this kind of cyclones, storms, everything, right? So do you think whether this program is suitable for AP or it is waste of money? Suitable? So like that you have to add current affairs whatever are there in the news. So if you're getting any question regarding, discuss about the formation of cyclones and impacts of cyclones and what measures we can take. So if you're getting that kind of questions and measures, can you add this recent step of Great Green Wall of AP will be helpful to minimize the loss? Can you add this? So in that way, you have to use your knowledge very brilliantly and wisely. Wherever it is possible, you have to use that. Don't miss even a single chance of wasting of your knowledge base. Okay, so if you see what is a tropical cyclone, it is a weather phenomena. It is formed only over warm ocean surface. And next one here is warm moist air will rise up, that will forms cumulonimbus clouds, and that will cause heavy rainfall. And because of this Coriolis force, the circular movement of the wind will happen, and that will be moving in certain direction. So first direction will be west, northwest, north and west. In this way it will move, so that all this, most of this coast areas around this Bay of Bengal will be having impact because of this cyclones. Okay, so how are cyclones named? The present cyclone name is called as Motha. So actually this name given by Thailand. So Motha means nothing but one indigenous ethnic tribe called as Mon. So on that name they gave this name. Okay. So actually if you see regarding this tropical cyclones naming process, there are 5 tropical cyclone regional bodies in the world. So we have ESCAPE, World Meteorological Organization Type 2 Committee, and this will be taking care of naming of these cyclones. So actually it is intergovernmental regional body, and it mainly focusing on taking of measures to improve cyclones, tropical cyclone warning system, especially in this Bay of Bengal region and as well as Arabian Sea region. And actually this group, which mainly contains 13 countries which are sharing boundary with this Arabian Sea and as well as Bay of Bengal, and they will be giving the list of 10 names. 13 into 10 will be like 130 names they will give, and whenever the cyclone appears in this Arabian Sea or Bay of Bengal, so they will be going in that order of naming this cyclones case. So now you guys tell me, what is the impact of the cyclone? Do we have any impact of the cyclone? What happens? Heavy rainfall and winds will flow at a very high speed. So because of this, sometimes especially loss of life can happen in these coastal regions, and especially fishing communities will face lot of problem because of the cyclones. And next one is loss of infrastructure can happen or not. So actually recently some cyclones like Hudhud in 2014, Titli in 2018, which caused lots of devastation in many states. And next one is that will also lead to loss of life, loss of property, loss of infrastructure, even roads, power lines. There will be no communication, and there will be no proper food for the people, basic amenities, everything will be getting stalled. And Andhra Pradesh is having a very large coastline, it is like around 1053 kilometers, and it is particularly vulnerable to the cyclonic storms. So coastal districts are very regularly impacted by this cyclones case. So here you have to see about what measures can be taken to decrease impacts of these cyclones. Clear? And now let us see the next article. Title says pollution puts Delhi's pregnant women babies at risk. So as you all know that what is happening in Delhi. Come on, speak out. Online students, tell me what are the current affairs that we discussed regarding this Delhi's air pollution. So recently Supreme Court, what did it say? It allowed green crackers during this Diwali season. And after that, what are the articles that we discussed? Graded response action plan 2 had been imposed. And after that, people violated the rules of Supreme Court and as well as Delhi government. What they did, rather than going for only green crackers, they also bursted traditional crackers. And even Delhi government gave an order that only in the limited time, morning 6 to 7 a.m. and 8 to 10 p.m. only they have to go for bursting of crackers. But what the people did they follow the timings? Again, no. So because of that, now the Delhi's air pollution is at peak. There is very poor air quality. So because of this, what is happening here is, especially pregnant women, they are having this choking. Do you know this choking? So whenever you are there for the long time in the smoke, can you breathe properly? You will be getting suffocation. That kind of suffocation is called as choking. So actually this article is saying that pregnant women are now choking in this region because of very poor air quality. Breathing is becoming very difficult during this pregnancy. Always what happen here is, during this pregnancy season, especially in this third trimester, that means from 6 months to 9 months, what happens is the baby's work is nothing but just growing on its size. So baby will be increasing size only during this third pregnancy time. So that time what happens, the belly will become very big for the pregnant woman, and that belly will be coming upwards. So because of that, lungs will be having very congested space to breathe in. Already they will be facing problem of breathing difficulties, breathing issues will be there in this pregnant woman. But because of this bad air quality, so this problem is exacerbating in this pregnant woman in this Delhi region, guys. So because of this, what happens? People, especially pregnant women, they can't breathe properly and they will not get proper oxygen which is required for them and as well as for their baby. So because of this, what happened, the baby's birth weight will be decreased. So there will be no proper development in the baby's brain and as well as baby's body. So that is the thing which mainly said here, guys. So where can you use this article? Whenever you're writing about air pollution and its impacts, can you add this one dimension? Air pollution and health of pregnant and newborn babies. Can you write this? So this is the one dimension that you can add in your answers. Clear? And now let us see the next article. See the title, guys. Japan seeks Indian workers, but people-to-people ties lag. So this article is talking about what? India-Japan relations. So this article is talking about India-Japan relations. This is very important from international relations from GS paper 2. If you see India, India is a developing country, yes or no? India is a developing country and Japan is developed country. So what is the difference between these developing and developed countries? Advancements, technology, economy. So because of this high development, advancements in science and technology, so people will have access to contraceptives. So because of this, what happens? There will be less next generation. And even in developed countries, the people are highly empowered. So because of this, women, they have utmost freedom and even they can take their decision regarding their reproduction. So because of this, what happened? There is drastic decrease of TFR. What is TFR? Total fertility rate in this developed country called as Japan. So now it is facing problem with increased old age population. So if old age people are increasing in that country, what happens? Will they work? Will they do economic activities? So here the people who are doing in this economic activities will be decreased. That means, can I say there will be shortage of labor? Yes. So actually there is shortage of labor in this Japan. So to compensate that, now Japan is coming up with lots of policies for what? To attract labor from other countries. Coming up with policies to attract labor. So in this policies, they are coming up with visa ease, and as well as they are coming up with special incentives for the people. And especially whenever they are coming up with policies, they are looking towards India, because already we have good relations with India, and Japan relations are very good. And apart from that, India is enjoying what? Demographic dividend. Yes or no? We are having working age population more compared to that of other countries. So because of this, Japan is looking towards India. And what happened recently in Japan? Elections. Yes or no? And the first woman prime minister elected in Japan. And she is from which family? Shinzo Abe family. Shinzo Abe's sister itself, right? So after whenever this Shinzo Abe was prime minister in Japan, India used to have very good relations, guys. Very, very good relations. At that time only India finalized this bullet train project between India and Japan. And for that project, completely the funding we are going to get from this Japan itself. But the problems in India, because of environment impact assessment and forest clearance, we are delaying that project. So again, Shinzo Abe's family member became prime minister, and now we are expecting that we are going to have very good relations. As part of the changing of government, again there will be changing of relations between India and Japan. And now, yes, we are going to send more Indians to Japan, so that in return what we can get? Remittances, and even we can get soft power, and we can also improve our bilateral relations, and it will be also very important for our Indian diplomacy, guys. Clear? So this article is very important from your GS paper 2 under international relations. Now let us see clearly. Japan is actively seeking skilled and semi-skilled workers from India to address its labor shortage, driven by aging population and declining birth rate. There is declining birth rate, that is nothing but GFR is declining in Japan because of developed status, advanced technology, delaying of marriage, women empowerment, whatnot. Okay, now they are facing severe labor shortage. So they are seeking skilled and as well as semi-skilled laborers from India. Okay, so to attract Indians and other country people, Japan country came up with lots of policies. Please make a note of it. So first one is specified skilled worker visa program. So first program came up by this Japan is specified skilled worker visa program, and they introduced it to facilitate the entry of foreign talent into various sectors like manufacturing, construction, elderly care. Even they are recruiting people to take care of elderly guys. You can understand what is situation of Japan now. Elderly care, IT, healthcare, and advanced manufacturing. In all these sectors, they want to attract talent from different countries. For that, they came up with a specified skilled worker visa program. And the second important one is Japan sets a targets to welcome hundreds of thousands of foreign professionals, especially Indian workers. For that, they came up with the second one. Please make a note. Action plan for India-Japan Human Resource Exchange. Action plan for India-Japan. Action plan for India-Japan Human Resource Exchange. And it is focusing on exchange of 5 lakhs people over 5 years. And they want around 50,000 skilled and semi-skilled Indian workers under this program, guys. Okay, so now whenever you are writing about India-Japan relations, you have to add these two programs where Japan is attracting Indians to work in their country. And for sure, 100% you will get question regarding India-Japan relations because of change of government now in this Japan, guys. And again, we are going to revive our relations with Japan now. Okay, so what is the impact on India and Japan because of this move? So whenever you are sending Indians, so it will address labor shortage problem in Japan or not. And apart from that, we can also go for economic revitalization Our younger workforce can contribute to increased consumption, demand, economic growth in Japan. And next one is we can also improve our culture integration also. For India, our country people will be getting employment opportunities, yes or no, and they will work there and they will send some amount back to India. That is nothing but remittances. We are going to increase our remittance. And what is happening between India and US recently? Tariffs are happening, and even they came up with restrictions on this H1B visa. So because of this, what is happening? There is indirectly prohibiting India's entry into US. If not US, now we have Japan. Yes or no? In that way, here we can also get skilled work in this Japan also now because of this policy, guys. And even we can go for improvement of skill development. Japan is a developed country, right? So what happens if our people are going there, and if they are learning the technology there, after coming back, what they'll bring? They'll bring social remittance also. I said about the social remittance topic in society, yes or no? So they will also bring back this social remittance. Whatever the development they are seeing there, they are trying to incorporate in our country as well. That is called as social remittance. And next one here is the one important problem here is if we are having chance to go to Japan, so our intellectuals, our talented people will leave India and they go to Japan. So this is the one concern that leads to brain drain in India. Clear? And now let us see the next article. See the title, guys. Satellite for armed forces to be launched next week. Very, very important article. Please make a note. And this topic is important from your GS paper 3 under science and technology. As you all know that our defense, Indian Army, Indian Navy and Indian Air Force, they are facing lots of challenges. Yes or no? Especially our Indian Navy is guarding our coastline, our waters. So they are also facing lots of challenges. Our army people facing lots of challenges and Air Force. So for all these people, we need a proper sharing of information. If there is a proper sharing of information, what happens? That will leads to proper stability in these three important defense forces, so that there will be minimizing of loss of life, loss of property, and even we can safeguard our borders properly, right? So for this, now our ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, is going to launch a special satellite, and this satellite is dedicated only to our defense forces, guys. Okay, so please make a note of that. That is CMS-03 communication satellite. Write down. Indian Space Research Organization is scheduled to launch CMS-03 communication satellite, and it is also known as GSAT-7R. GSAT-7R satellite, and it is dedicated to military communication itself. Okay, and it is designed to provide advanced communication capabilities, and it will support our surveillance mechanism and navigation, weather monitoring across Indian Ocean region. And the important feature of this satellite is this satellite will enable voice, video, and data transmission among the naval ships, submarines, and aircrafts, which are operating up to 2,000 kilometers from Indian coastline. From Indian coastline till 2,000 kilometers, yes, the satellite will provide even voice, video, and as well as data transmission among the naval ships, submarines, and aircrafts. So this is one of the advanced and utmost facility of this communication satellite, guys. So what is the significance? Why it is important? It can enhance our maritime security as well. Surveillance will be increased. And this one here is we can reduce our reliance on on foreign services. So what are the foreign services we are using? For example, GPS. Now we can decrease our reliance on them. And this one is we can also have advancement in our technology, and we can also attract more investment in the space sector now, and we can also improve our border military satellite program. Okay, and even in future we can also come up with the satellites which can use AI, guys. AIs in advanced radar imaging, so that we can have all weather day and night surveillance across our country. So this will be like significance. And see this article, guys. Why has IUCN red flagged the Western Ghats? So this article very important. Please make a note. Okay, so why it is in news? Because recently IUCN, that is International Union for Conservation of Nature, came up with a report. And in this report, it said that Western Ghats and as well as West Bengal Sundarbans National Parks, they had been categorized as significant concern. Okay, Sundarban region and as well as Western Ghats region, they are listed as areas of significant concern by IUCN. So because of this, this is in news. But here this article is talking about only Western Ghats. So here why this IUCN state there's significant concern in this Western Ghats. They cited four important reasons. Please make a note. First one is climate change is happening. Because of this climate change is having impact on this Western Ghats. And next one here is tourism activities. So because of this tourism activities, we have to go for development, right? So if we want to boost tourism, will this tourist will come simply? They need to have proper hotels, they need to have proper restaurants, they need to have proper entertainment related activities, right? And they need to have proper transport mechanism. Then only we can attract more tourists. That means we have to go for developmental projects or infrastructure in this areas if we want to boom the tourism. Yes or no? You people will not go simply to that so and so hill or like mountain if there are no facilities. And even there should be a lot of safety for the tourist also. Then only we can attract this tourism. So the second one here is tourism activities are causing lots of impact in this Western Ghats. And third one is invasive alien species. What are these invasive alien species? So they are not naturally present in that environment, but intentionally or unintentionally, if there is any foreign, that means outsider plant or outsider animal is coming and started living in that region, what happens? There will be no competition for that because the area which is there here, it is habituated to eat. The entire food chain is based on that area. So if there is suddenly if other plant which came into that region, means animals which are present in that region will not eat that. So because of that, what happened? Rapidly the number of the new foreign thing will be increased. So because of this, what happens? There will be decreasing of prey, and that will impact this food chain and as well as food web, guys. So this invasive alien species also one more impact. And next one here is roads. So these are the four important reasons which are leading to the loss of biodiversity, and there is a threat for this Western Ghats. So this is the thing which mainly said by this IUCN, guys. And if you see the gist, it is saying that IUCN World Heritage Outlook 4 report released in this month, which is saying that the four threats to loss of habitats and species in the South Asia are climate change, tourism activities, invasive alien species and roads. And Western Ghats are highly endangered even because of this hydropower projects. Write down next point. Even because of hydropower projects also this Western Ghats had been affected. And the Natural World Heritage sites make up less than 1% of Earth's surface, but more than 20% of mapped global species richness. So actually this is saying that there is a very high species richness in this Western Ghats region, but now because of that four reasons, they are in threat, guys. Okay, clear? So see about this and see some facts regarding this IUCN also. There may be a question you may get in your prelims. Some basic facts. What is this IUCN? So when it was formed, what are the aims and objectives? So what are the important list? What is red list, green list? It is giving certain kinds of list. What are those lists? And especially in this red list also you have to see different categories, guys. So these are the very important topics that appeared in our today's in the newspaper. By this I'm concluding. Thank you so much, guys, for watching, and please do like this class and share this class. And don't forget to subscribe to Rathod's IAS Academy. And you can follow us on our Telegram channel where we are providing notes of this class, and you can follow us on our both Telugu and as well as English channels where we are providing news in shorts as well. And next one is you can follow us on Instagram where we are providing daily one prelims question with answer, mains question with model answer, and also current affairs in short, guys. Thank you so much.